July 4th weekend here at the Mid-Ohio Sports Car Course. Always an awesome weekend for the drivers in the USF Pro Championships. It's been a long, hot one here for sure, and extended a little further than we thought. We figured we were going to be done earlier today with USF Pro 2000 Race 3. The rain that halted IndyCar qualifying yesterday has pushed us to after IndyCar. They've already wrapped up their Honda 200. We have one more race still to go. It'll be this driver starting on the pole position. Exclusive Autosports, Jack Jeffers, the point leader right now. Jack, let's start first with race number 1 on the day here today. Fantastic lap. Fastest ever race lap. You beat the record held by Renus VK. How much does that mean to you? No one's ever gone faster in a race here.
Obviously, it means a lot. It's nice to hold that record and know that, my name's now in the history books. And it's nice to get that extra point. All these extra points are valuable when you're in a tight championship hunt. So, yeah, I'm pretty ecstatic. And I guess the biggest thing is the confidence boost. Now we know that we have the pace to go and win out there for race 3.
You guys have been working on the car to get it better and better. I know you always do that, but did you find something? Because you were easily the fastest driver in the racetrack earlier today.
Yeah, we made a few tweaks from yesterday, but nothing drastic. Little things, just staying on top of it. And I think just with these conditions, we made the right call and really nailed it. And I've been working on my driving with my coach, Braden Eves, all weekend long, just trying to, keep rolling the speed and keep refining my craft and everything. So I think now that we got on top of it, that, there's still a little bit more to improve. And then, hopefully find that last little bit and we're able to dominate race 3.
I know, obviously, midway through the season now, we're into the second half stretch. Leonardo Scorpioni back-to-back wins here. This pole may be even more crucial to kind of stop him right now because out front, he's been able to get away. Is the idea, obviously, to lead the opening lap and then try to pull away like he's been doing?
Yeah, the idea is, keep the lead on the opening lap and just pull away the whole race. Hopefully it's a green to checkered race so we can just bang out the laps and hit my marks. But yeah, it is crucial to stop his momentum. Props to him. He's been doing a great job. Him and Turn 3 have done a fabulous job this weekend. So hopefully we can put a stop to that and get back on our track and get our momentum rolling.
You've already won a championship, USF 2000 title winner from last year, so you've been in that battle before. You've been to that second half where you really kind of dominated last year to take the title. You leaning back on what you learned last year, thinking about this run to Road America in September?
Yeah, exactly, right? Like this triple header weekend, mid-season, this is when the statement's made. This is when you can get your momentum rolling and really turn it around. And kind of like, as you say, the cream rises to the top and the championship starts taking shape. So we're going to look to get back on top and get our momentum rolling again. And then, hopefully we can secure it by Road America.
Leonardo Scorpioni, a couple of wins, but Jack Jeffers with a pole. That new race lap record will put him on the inside of the front row for the final race of the triple header here at Mid-Ohio. After this break, we'll come back. I'll give you the full driver lineup.
You can feel confident Continental is the smart choice in tires.
Can they handle extremes?
Yep. Tested from the Texas desert to near the Arctic Circle.
Really?
Really.
Anything for the guy who finds that one pothole?
Yeah. Road hazard coverage has your back.
For real?
Absolutely.
Were they made by, a bajillion engineers?
Well, closer to 100. Continental. Welcome to the smart choice in tires.
We test every vehicle for driving safety, performance, and efficiency. But we also believe a vehicle should be fun. So we set out to test the all-new Prelude for joy, excitement, and exhilaration. And it's clear, it's not just the way our vehicles move, but the way they make you feel that makes them a Honda. The Prelude Hybrid, engineered for fun.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Mid-Ohio Sports Car Course as we get ready to roll with the final event of the USF Pro Championship, USF Pro Patriot 250 Grand Prix of Mid-Ohio. My name is Rob Howden, joined in the booth here today by John Phippen, the voice of this fantastic racetrack, and the drivers here in USF Pro 2000 rolling right out onto the pit lane. The third race was supposed to be run earlier today. The second race late yesterday afternoon. The rain that came in and slowed and halted qualifying for IndyCar, forced the move of the final race for USF Pro 2000 to the end of the day here. IndyCar has already run a fantastic green to checker battle there. Let's have a look at the grid. These drivers are going to be heading right out into the racetrack momentarily. The tail of the field, JT Hoskins out of Sarasota, Florida, the rookie for Jay Howard Driver Development, powered by ECR in the 7, starting 15th. Alongside Hoskins' fellow Florida driver from Orlando, Teddy Masella for VRD Racing in the number 25. All the times essentially for the grid here set by the fastest laps earlier today in race number 2. such a quick racetrack, 72 degrees. The engines loved it. We actually set a new fastest race lap record for Jack Jeffers, so essentially everybody using the times from that session to set the grid for race number 3 here. Moving up to row number 7, Brady Golan from Austin, Texas for turn 3 Motorsports in the number 44. His teammate from New Zealand, Sebastian Manson, will be alongside him in the number 22. Moving up to row number 6 on the outside from Jacksonville Beach, Florida, that is Colin Aiken, the rookie driver in the VRD Racing number 11. And from Golden, Colorado, it is the number 91 of Joey Brienza for Exclusive Autosport, starting in the 11th position. Moving into the top 10 now, row number 5 from Sonoma, California, Christian Cameron, the 16-year-old TJ Speed Motorsports driver in the 27, starting 10th. Inside at a Newport Beach, California, fast Frankie Mossman in the VRD Racing number 77. Mossman with a wing damage in the opening race, ready to attack again from the inside of row number 5. Watch for him to work his way forward. Row number 4 will have Logan Adams alongside Tyke Durst. Adams from Greenfield, Indiana in the Comet Racing Newcastle Motorsports Park number 21. And the inside Durst, as I said, from Charlotte, North Carolina, and Turn 3 Motorsports, number 3. Up to row number 3, Michael Costello, one of the drivers still in the championship battle, currently P4 in points out of Naples, Florida for Turn 3 Motorsports. Costello in the 2. And alongside him, the driver who dominated the action at Road America just 2 weeks ago, G3 Argyros, 3rd place in the points, had a rough one in race number 1. Not a bad run there in race number 2. G3 Argyros, the rookie in the 18, starting in 5th. Up down to row number 2 on the outside from Lima, Peru. It is Andres Cardenas for Jay Howard Driver Development. 3 podiums in the last 4 races. Cardenas really getting a feel for this USF Pro 2000 Tatis race car, the number 6, starting 4th. And alongside him, Leonardo Scorpioni. Back-to-back wins this weekend so far. He won race 1, he won race 2. Having a solid season so far. 2nd place in points. In fact, just 4 points separate 1st and 2nd. A Scorpioni in the Turn 3, number 4, starting on the inside. 16 drivers in the field, 2 on the front row. Off pole, it will be from Bethel, Ohio. The local driver putting a fantastic lap in near the very end of race number 2. Thomas Schrag for TJ Speed Motorsports. And the number 26 loves this racetrack. He'll start on the outside of the front row. And it will be Jack Jeffers, the point leader for Exclusive Autosport, last year's USF 2000 champion, starting on the pole position in the number 92. Jack joined me in the pre-race show. He is ready to go after his 3rd race win of the year. Jeffers and Trag, row 1. Scorpioni and Cardenas, row 2. Argyros and Costello, row 3. Durst, Adams, row 4. Mossman and Cameron, row 5. Brienza and Aiken, row 6. Manson, Golan, row 7. And it's Masella and Hoskins on row number 8. Field working its way now down through turns 5 and turn 6. Let's bring John Fippen in here. This is going to be a good one. Green to checker this morning. Let's see if we can do it again right now. Different conditions, about 10 to 12 degrees hotter here today. These drivers have been waiting to get back at it.
Just about ideal conditions this morning. Like I said, a lap record that has stood since 2018 was broken this morning. The new race lap record set by Jack Jeffers. So the temperature's not quite as good, but we've had a full race of IndyCar rubber on the track since these drivers last experienced it. So first couple laps going to be a little sketchy. They're going to have to figure it out where the grip is.
Great point for John there. IndyCar putting 90 laps of competition down on this racetrack. It'll be a wildly different track through 1 through 2, the downhill right-hand keyhole corner. We're underway, folks, for the 3rd time. Here we are. Green, 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 and a great start for Jack Jeffers. A Scorpioni gets a good run up the inside on Schrag. Schrag's going to try the outside of the corner. They'll go side by side there. Does Schrag hold the outside? If he does, no, if a driver's gone off, drop the wheel. You can see the dust up there. Jeffers is going to get opening lead. Drivers spinning further back. 1, 2, 3 drivers involved, spinning into the infield of the keyhole itself. They'll work their way out of turn number 2 down the back straightaway for the first time. Jeffers is your leader. A couple of drivers involved there. That might have been one of the VRD drivers. Looks like the white and blue of one of the turn 3 cars involved there as well. Not a great start. Watching Aaron Likens in the flag stand in front of me, grabbing a hold of a couple of yellow flags, has not yet shown it. Waiting for the opportunity for the drivers, of course, to fire things up. But indeed, here come those flags from Aaron. Full course yellow as we have an incident further back at the start there. John, I saw the dust up as they came through the corner, the dirt in the air, someone dropped the wheel, and all of a sudden we saw 3 cars. As they kind of got past turn 1, closing more into the keyhole, drivers got together and off to the right side of the racetrack.
Yeah, exactly. Over in the grass between the straight shot between turn 1 and the keyhole, which we run for all of our pro races. But the original track configuration, we call it the club course, which includes that little chicane. So they're off in that little grassy knoll in between those two sections of racetrack. We still use the original course configuration for a lot of our club races and some other events. The motorcycles also like to use that club course as well. As we can see, a course vehicle on its way to the scene of those stranded cars. We'll try to get numbers for you as timing and scoring updates.
Yeah, being told the number 3 of Tyke Durst to the 21 of Christian Cameron. It was the 21 of Logan Adams who was able to pull away from the scene. So those drivers getting together down in that corner. Indeed, a tough one. Honestly, our first yellow flag of the day, I believe, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, 2 cars in the pit lane, 1 without a nose.
Yeah, in comes Joey Brienza as well. Flat left rear for Brienza. The wing knocked off the front of the 21 of Logan Adams. So again, a number of drivers off. Tyke Durst and Christian Cameron still on the grassy part of the keyhole there to driver's right coming up to turn number 2. Again, our first yellow flag of the day. Clean and green through USF Pro 2000 through Indy Next, I believe, and then clean and green as well for 90 laps of IndyCar racing. So our first slowdown, lap number 1 here of USF Pro 2000. Not able to replicate that clean race they had. It got a little bit ugly there, and not surprising. And it's a long way away. You're probably not going to get a good shot of it at all anyways. But you get a driver when the field's packed up like that, John, coming off of turn 1, drops a wheel, maybe comes back in a little squirrely. Everybody else has got to kind of take evasive maneuvers. And sometimes you put yourself in a bad spot. The guy in front of you is checked up a little bit. You're trying to avoid. The fact that there was some collateral damage and collision there, not really surprising as everybody's trying to find a way through.
Yeah, exactly right. And again, this track is going to be greasier than these guys had to deal with this morning. So that'll be a factor for sure. And turn 1 is sketchy at, when the track is in ideal condition, and when it's perhaps a little greasy, it's definitely can catch a driver out, especially at the start of the race.
Tough one there for the number 21 of Logan Adams. He had an issue with the fuel cell, I believe, in the qualifying session. Fell back, didn't get a second run, then was able to get a good time there in race number 2. We talked about the fact that race number 2 this morning in very good conditions, 72 degrees. Track was ideal. Again, we turned the fastest lap ever in a race for Jack Jeffers, eclipsing the 2018 time of Renus VK. So track was absolutely perfect, and Adams able to get a great lap there, moving from 14th on the grid up to 8th outside of row number 4. But of course, the issue there, he's out already, and they're still going to work trying to get the wing on that machine. So I think we have a bit of a replay for us to look at here. It's going to be a ways away, like we said, folks. The camera coming likely from turn number 2 down to turn number 1. We'll see if we get it. A look at it here for you. Indeed. So you can see well down there, the driver has gone off into the gravel on the outside. You see the dust flying, maybe just the outside of the curb. Watch everybody try to work the way over. Someone connects up front and goes spinning. I don't know whether that was maybe Cameron and Adams getting together. There goes the wing of Adams there coming into the grass.
Sebastian Manson just came into the pit lane, so he may have been one of them.
Yeah, wing damage for Sebastian Manson as well in there too. So 2 of the turn 3 cars, 1 off the racetrack. Looks like Christian Cameron's coming in on the hook, so suspension damage likely for him. So a lot of chaos here early on. Cameron out. Tyke Durst has not come back around. Logan Adams in to get the wing changed. He's gone back out, as has Sebastian Manson as well. So those drivers will remain on the lead lap. So excellent job for those teams to get him back out there. Joey Brienza was in and out as well. Flat left rear tire for Joey Brienza. And again, just lots of collateral damage. It seems like they were able to kind of scatter through, John, after whatever the driver did, the outside of turn 1, dropping a wheel and getting all that dust in the air. But it seems to me, just as they were coming up to turn 2, jostling for position, likely hooking some wheels. You can see the cars immediately move to the right. So at that point, someone's hooked a wheel and has taken the other car for a ride. So race control. Check that one down on the logbook. We'll be looking at the video from those cars for sure to see where you lay incident responsibility.
Yeah, the onboard footage does not lie, so that gives you a great aspect from all the cars involved, and they can assemble those video files to make their final adjudications.
In the early 2000s, late 1990s, early 2000s, when I used to have a magazine and wrote about the sport here for Formula Car Magazine, I may not be able to get to a racetrack sometimes. So when I'm talking about the race report, you talk to the winner,
Sure.
or you talk to the guy in second.
Right.
You talk to the guy in third to tell you exactly what happened. the guy in third was the guy that he saw it all happen. So,
Right.
Because the leader's going to tell you how great he was, second's going to tell you how he got run off the road, and the guy in third's going to say, hey, listen, this is what actually happened. So the same thing, for instance, like this. Although the in-car cameras are really great, we love to see the camera from the driver behind as well. A lot of times you'll see who jinks left, who jinks right, whatever it may be. So
Logan Adams back into the pit lane. First driver a lap down. And he's going to go a little further down, it looks like, as they're talking to the driver. Apparently he doesn't feel something he likes in that race car after that contact.
Yeah, we get a really good look at it here now, and they're sitting down to chat with Logan here. Again, a family-run team for Logan Adams. His father, Mike Adams, who is the track manager at Newcastle Motorsports Park. Of course, we talk a lot about his grandfather as well, Mark Dismore, if you've been a fan of the Indy Racing League.
Yep.
Won the Texas 500 at one point, a fantastic racing career.
Yep.
But the Dismore name actually absolutely legendary in North American kart racing. His great-grandfather, Emerson Dismore, starting one of the legendary kart shops, Comet Kart Sales. It's around for over 60 years now.
Yep.
And continues to run. Fantastic shop, and their whole life is around motorsports, is around karting. But Logan, of course, with that opportunity to go racing. He ran with us at the start of the year at Arlington, Texas, and then got a chance to jump into a Mustang Cup car USAC competition. I think he's won all 6 races he's been in so far.
Yeah.
But tested here in April at Mid-Ohio. It's close. They live over in Indiana. Really wanted to get a chance to run here. We may see him at the Milwaukee Mile as well. He tested there a couple of weeks ago. But a great family run, one-car team. They're going up against the juggernauts of the USF Pro Championships, and always great to see when he's up there with elbows up in the top 10, top 5.
And Newcastle, one of the premier karting tracks in the Midwest. So
in the nation.
Yeah.
I will tell you this right now. There is not a primary national program in the U.S. that does not have Newcastle Motorsports Park as one of its events. We'll get back to that a little bit later on. Pace cars headed off. We are going racing once again. We'll put lap number 4 in the books when they come back around. Back to green flag racing, and Jack Jeffers gets a good jump. Argyros up into the second spot. G3 Argyros runs P2. Scorpione into the third position. Fourth is Schrag. Fifth, Mossman. 6th, Cardenas. 7th, Costello. Galan, Masella, and Aiken, the top 10. Another bit of a dust up there. Someone dropping a wheel. Open racetrack there.
Good battle for second.
Yeah, indeed, but open racetrack for Jeffers, which was good. But yeah, the battle for second heating up between Argyros and the Scorpione. Good stuff here now. I love the fact that we have, I want to say, 6 different teams in the top 6 right now. Exclusive, Pabst, Turn 3, TJ Speed, VRD, Jay Howard. That's awesome stuff. Top 6 drivers, 6 different teams. As we have, I believe, 13 drivers remaining on the racetrack, both Manson and Brands able to get those cars repaired. The team's doing great work on pit lane to get them back out there. So we are racing again. Top 4 drivers lining up. The best battle now is, I think, between probably 5th and 6th, Mossman and Cardenas. But indeed, everybody's settling in. There's a big move to the inside of turn number 9. Oh, we don't see it a lot, but a fantastic dive to the inside there for a Scorpione. He surprises Argyros, and Argyros is going to get passed as well by Thomas Schrag. Schrag goes into P3.
Cardenas making a move as well. He went side by side down into Thunder Valley.
John, not the easiest pass to make. You've got to get through 8 super clean to get the car kind of lined up where you, as the driver opens up for turn 9, you throw it to the inside, and before they can get the turn-in done, you're already alongside. It doesn't happen every weekend. We have it here with the USF Pro, but when it does, it is oh so sweet. The confidence in the race car for Leonardo Scorpione puts it to the inside of turn number 9, and he will go to P2. He's going to go to work on Jeffers, who locks up a right front. Jeffers getting pressure here now as Golan and Mossman up there going side by side as well. Great action here early on, 5 laps down. Remember, a 30-lap race, too. Long way to go for this one here. As indeed, Jeffers leads. Cardenas actually turned the fast lap of the race on that last lap. He's got himself into third, trying to see if he can't lock down his 4th podium in 5 races. Great mid-season form for the Peruvian, for Jay Howard Driver Development. Really starting to get a feel for this race car, for this paddock, and it's starting to deliver some results to Jay Howard's program. Everybody in the field turned their fastest lap there on lap number 5. Not surprising. Finally back to green flag racing. Get some heat into these Continental tires. And this fight we're seeing up front right now, it's starting to feel a little bit to me like this is going to be the mano-a-mano battle for the championship over the remainder of the season. Jack Jeffers versus Leonardo Scorpioni. Scholarship winner versus scholarship winner. Jeffers won it last year in USF 2000. Scorpioni in the USF Juniors program. Jumped over top in 2000 to go to pro. And really, it's been a good car here this weekend for Scorpioni in that turn 3 machine. But they did make some, obviously, some adjustments to Jeffers' car to make him so quick here in race number 2. But here comes a Scorpioni to the inside. Book it. Does he make it stick, though? It looks like he might have pushed a little wide in the corner. Are they too wide coming out? Not quite. A Scorpioni finishes the pass on the exit. He'll go to P1.
He closed within 4 points of Jack Jeffers with those back-to-back wins here in the first 2 races. If he can sweep the weekend, he's going to take the points lead. And we've got a car off up in the keyhole, we understand.
Yeah, driver off in turn number 2, we're being told by Race Control. We'll try to get an update for you on exactly who that is off in turn number 2 and whether or not it will bring out those yellows indeed. Yeah, full course yellow here. The pass is done for a Scorpioni and being told the driver off the racetrack. We'll try to get an update on that. But that is the number I got is not the number. That driver still circulates around the racetrack. So we're going to try to pick up which driver that was. Sounds like the number 2 we're being told off the racetrack here. That's Michael Costello. 4th place in points. Costello off in turn number 2. AMR IndyCar safety team heading out onto the racetrack on the outside of the carousel as the field will circulate around here. Get a chance to look at the rest of the field in front of the car here so they can get cleanly through. Costello off in turn number 2 behind our vision of what we were watching on screen. Scorpioni to a beautiful pass, got a great run, and was able to get the job done. A little quicker coming out of turn number 1, got alongside Jeffers into the braking zone and took that lead. I thought he might have pushed wide, John. He got into the corner, and to be honest, not a bad way to finish a pass off. If you get into the corner and you think you got him, by at least, half a car, let the thing unwind the hands a little bit, right? Diamond the corner off a little bit to be able to get back down to power. Great job there.
As long as you leave a car width to the outside for the guy on the outside, you're still good.
My spotter in race control telling me a report we may have had contact between Mossman and Costello to have Costello go off track. So I'm sure race control will have a quick look at that as well. But an inauspicious beginning here for the drivers in USF Pro 2000 after an excellent display this morning when they went 30 laps of green flag racing. Scorpioni coming away with his 2nd win of the week and indeed tightening things up in the championship in a big way now. Scorpioni to the lead. Purple lap as well with a 1:21.109.
And look at Argyros, Costello, Mossman, and Cardenas. The 4 of them separated by 6 points. So that second pack for basically 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th in the points, anybody's ball game. That's going to change after this race is over.
Yeah, tough one, of course, for Michael Costello. He and Frankie Mossman both sitting there. No, he and G3 Argyros both sitting there with 158 points. Mossman back by just 1 at 157. But indeed, the remainder of the season looking very good for these drivers in USF Pro 2000. We're just kind of the halfway point now. We'll get back at that in a second. I'll have a look at the schedule as we circulate around, but we do have a look at the incident in turn number 2. You're going to look at the back part of the track here. Watch as they come through here. Waiting for the drivers to come on through. They're side by side through there. Oh, there we go. And almost up and over for Costello as he and Mossman side by side coming down the hill through turn number 2. And again, as you get into that corner, we've seen it before. Drivers trying to get back on power. You got wheel in it. Contact between those 2 drivers mid-corner, and the wheel-to-wheel contact sent Costello's car up in the air. At that point, a passenger as he was holding on to go off track. So tough one for Costello as he's out of this one now. 2 laps down, I believe, likely on the hook. So Costello's going to finish 13th. I believe Logan Adams is done. Yeah, he's already, I think, pushed back to the paddock area. So Costello, Adams, Durst, and Cameron already done. 12 drivers remain on the racetrack. Scorpioni leads over Jeffers, Cardenas, Argyros, and Schrag. Back to the schedule. We'll wrap things up with the triple header here at the Mid-Ohio Sports Car Course. About 5 weeks from now, we head West Coast, Pacific Northwest, that is, the Portland International Raceway for a double header there alongside IndyCar. After that, looking forward to a brand new street circuit replacing the old and legendary Lakeshore Boulevard Toronto course north of the border in Ontario. We'll go just northwest of the city in the suburb of Markham. They are pouring money into the track. There's a lot of support, a lot of excitement around this 5-year deal at Markham. Excited to get up there for that race. And then from there, at the end of August, the drivers will run at the legendary Milwaukee Mile. Proper oval for the drivers here in USF Pro. Tested back there on the Monday after the Road America weekend. Drivers were just raving about the track. After that, triple header for all 3 of our series in the late September at Road Americas. We'll cap off our championships and hand out more than $1.6 million in scholarships, prizes, and awards at our season-end championship celebration. So a long way to go for that now, but I was kind of leading there because Jack Jeffers and Leonardo Scorpioni look like they're kind of facing off here right now. They've got a pretty good lead. GC Argyro sits 3rd place in points, but he is almost 40 points behind Scorpioni and is a total of 42 points behind Jeffers. So indeed, there's a gap between second back to third. We talked about how close 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th are. Argyros, Costello, Mossman, and Cardenas, and even Schrag not that far back as well. But top 2 drivers on the throttle. We go back to green flag racing and yet another fantastic start on the power as directed by Race Control and our drivers meeting early. As soon as you get to the apex of the carousel, get on the throttle, and that's what a Scorpioni did. Got a 0.4 of a second jump on Jeffers and has a lot of room coming up into 2. In fact, Jack Jeffers is getting challenged big time by Cardenas. Cardenas to the outside. Same thing goes a little further back with, I believe, Argyros and Schrag and Golan. Brady Golan trying to hold back Argyros there, and here's the battle again. They'll come working down the straightaway. It's Golan and Schrag, pardon me. Good scrap there up into 2, but Cardenas going after Jeffers. Does he get it coming down to 4? No. Concedes it and tucks back in. Remember, race number 1 yesterday, Cardenas tried to hold the outside, lost it going for the lead, dropped the wheel and spun. That's in the back of your mind. I talked to his team owner, Jay Howard, about it. He said he had a great run going in race 1. I love the fact that he was trying to go for the lead, but just not quite the place. You got to be further by. Jay Howard knows this racetrack. This time Cardenas checking back up. A wise move from a driver who's still in the championship contention.
Sure, exactly right.
Don't want to make the mistakes there. Again, hearing potentially from Race Control that the number 77 of Mossman may be getting a drive-through penalty here. We'll see if whether that happens or not. Remember, that was the contact between Mossman and Costello. Not off, if possible.
Yep, he's getting it right now.
Yeah, here comes Mossman right in front of us here, the number 77. What a horrible weekend it's been for Frankie Mossman.
For sure.
Man, just wasn't able to put it together like he would have liked to. Out of the gate strongly with a podium finish.
First race,
but broken wing in race number 2. It put him to the tail of the field. Now the contact between he and Costello. Drive-through penalty is going to drop him down to 12th place on the track. Tough for sure for Frankie Mossman, but again, there's lots of racing still to go. I've mentioned this before. We have a lot of racing still, John. 8 races still on the docket to go at 4 different venues. So there's still lots of racing. And as I always say, there's lots of first corners.
Yeah.
And first corners, you can go from 30 points to 1 point pretty quickly.
Yeah, and unlike your other 2 championships, you're just at the halfway point right now, basically. So there's half the season yet to come. So, and some interesting racetracks, including the Milwaukee Mile coming up.
Oh, I can't wait for that race. Talked to a couple of the drivers about the way they're getting around the track and a feeling that, man, we're going to have a second groove. We're going to be able to go too wide around that track. And they talk about rolling into turn 1 where you are on the power. You're not rolling off the corner. You're on power all the way to the apex. You kind of lift, knock it down to 5th gear, back on power. You're grabbing 6 on the straightaway. It's going to be a challenge for these young drivers, but a proper challenge that will set them up to get ready to go into next racing.
You bet. You bet.
I'd love to see another big oval. I'd like to see us go back to Worldwide Technology Raceway as well. I think that'd be a lot of fun. Great racetrack for sure.
You bet.
Leonardo Scorpioni again there. He's got the fast lap of the race right now, a 120.0, a 109. Jeffers and Cardenas still in that fight, as we know. They worked their way down the back straightaway. Jeffers has been able to stretch away from Cardenas. He had one really good look at it, but Jeffers pulling at this time to about 1.2 seconds. Argyros 4th, Golan in 5th. Great job here for Brady Golan as well. Started 14th, out of the chaos, and has worked his way forward. The turn 3 cars are quick, we know, with Leonardo Scorpioni. I'm sure that data, they were going over that video like crazy. Here's what Leo's doing. The car's doing this, and they're talking back and forth, and that's one of the benefits you get with a 5-car team. like Turn 3 Motorsports. So much data coming in, especially when you got a guy who's won a couple of races. This is what you can do if you want to go fast. Brady Golan leveraging that right now as he's worked his way up into P5.
Still looking for his first podium on the season, which is a bit of a surprise for me, as I know how talented Brady is, but he's going the right direction. Like I say, up into 5th right now.
In the middle of a good battle right now here with Thomas Schrag. I think Schrag was able to get back around there. Yeah, Thomas Schrag in the number 26, back around Golan as they work their way through the carousel and I move to the outside. So indeed, things settling in finally here. 12 laps down, 18 laps to go. A lot of work being done yesterday afternoon, not just on race cars, but on laptops and on phones, because there was a lot of flights that had to get changed. We were all expecting that we were going to be wrapped up here by about 9 o'clock this morning. But with the rain that came through and delayed the NTT IndyCar Series qualifying session, we just didn't have any time. We ended up finishing just a little after 7 o'clock yesterday evening, and everybody was on the phone, man, like, okay, we're not going to be able to make flights. Let's move things around. I'll tell you, folks, if you were around here at all, we thought rain was going to be coming. We were trying to figure out when we were going to be able to get in here. It is essentially blue skies over the track right now, lots of sun. There's cloud all the way around us.
Yep.
But as I walked over here, I was under blue skies. It is very warm still here trackside. Perfect opportunity, John, to have this race after the NTT IndyCar Series Honda 200. Because simply put, if you're still here hanging out, having maybe another cold one, everybody else is in the traffic right now. Let them go. You'll be good to go when you're trying to get out of here after that.
Coming up on the halfway point of this one is Scorpione, looking to sweep the weekend as he sets fast lap of the race. A 1:18.7787. Jeffers about a 10th back as far as lap time goes, but he's 2.5 seconds behind Scorpione. Cardenas another 2 seconds back as the leaders have begun to spread it out just a little bit. Best battle on the racetrack is Golan and Schrag in that battle for 5th. They're only a second apart.
John, we've talked throughout the weekend about how this track, I could use the word finicky, but maybe it's just it changes so much from the start of the day to the end of the day. So earlier today, in 72-degree temperature, as the first drivers on the racetrack, Jack Jeffers rolled out and put down a 1:15.8. He was a half a second faster than the race record set by Rinus VK back in 2018. So this morning, 1:15.8 fast lap. We're 1:18.7. IndyCar goes out and lays all that rubber down. All of a sudden, we are almost 3 seconds off the pace that we set earlier today. Yeah, it's probably close to 15, almost, maybe closing up on 20 degrees temperature difference from the morning to where we are right now. But that just shows you how much different the weather plays, how much when it's heat, when it's hot, it's humid. The track is as hot as it is. The rubber down from IndyCar. These cars are pretty finicky. They like certain air. The dense air is good for aerodynamics, but the hot air is not good for the engine, the horsepower numbers.
Exactly right. And G3 Argyros looking racy here as he's begun to close the gap down to Andres Cardenas. So G3 looking for a podium here. On that last lap, he was about 2/10 quicker. He's got it under a second in the battle back to up to Andres Cardenas in 3rd.
Yeah, we know what has to happen here, too. You can get to within that kind of 1 second window, but once you do, you start dealing with losing the air over the front wing, and that's one of the big things we hear all the drivers kind of complain about. I was able to reel them in, but once I got there, man, I started losing the front end coming down through turn number 2, through the S's as I was hoping for, relying on the grip coming through 8 and through 9. Too close. I get that, entry understeer. The car just wants to push without that air on the front wing. You'll often see a driver kind of tuck out a little bit to try to get a bit of air over top of the wing. The draft doesn't work, but you still get the advantage of the wing traveling over, or the air traveling over the front wing to give that plant you need to get the car turned in. This is a great battle further back there as well, no doubt about that. That is JT Hoskins and Colin Aiken going at it. A couple of rookies in the series battling right now for 10th and 11th. Aiken trying to find a way by Hoskins. Both drivers coming in here from Florida. A number of Florida drivers actually in the series here this year. Yeah, Scorpione's out to 2.2 seconds. This has been a absolutely fantastic run here at Mid-Ohio. And again, let's go back to the point I essentially start every one of our broadcasts on here, John, when we get rolling for the first broadcast in qualifying. This is a turning point race for us. The Mid-Ohio event on July 4th weekend is the halfway point for pro. For the other two categories, juniors and USF 2000, it kind of starts the second half of the season.
Right.
But this is it. This is the run. Drivers will tell you, well, I'm just trying to win races. If I win, I'll let the championship kind of take care of itself. No way. you come into this weekend, win a bunch of races like a Scorpione is, and you're going to feel that momentum moving through the remainder of the season. Lots of racing still to go.
Sure.
But this is the turning point race.
He's going to leave here with the points lead if he stays where he is. So.
Yeah, indeed. You look back at USF Juniors last year, and the drivers who won here ended up finishing first and second in the championship. Leonardo Scorpione won the first race. Liam Loiacono won the second race in USF Juniors. And it's just the momentum. It's the confidence midway through the season. And I'll tell you, you're going to have a lot of confidence from Leonardo Scorpione. 2 top 5s at Road America in a car that he will tell you wasn't perfect. They didn't get the setup, but he was able to optimize the race car, get a couple of top 5s, and bank a bunch of points there, taking home 34 points when other drivers struggled for it. In the end, those top 5s led him into what could be 3 straight wins here right now. But you got to give it up to Jack Jeffers as well. He's doing what he needs to do with essentially lining up for a couple of podiums and a top 5 with 4th in the opening round. So that's how you get the job done here, folks. Actually, 4th in round 2 for Jeffers, but you got to keep stacking points.
Yeah.
Get to the end and see what happens at Road America.
That's it.
Past the halfway point, 16 laps down, 14 to go. It's still a fast lap for Leonardo Scorpione, 118.172. This is when they want to do it too, folks, right in front of the IndyCar team owners and scouts. They want to show that they have the ability to win races.
With musical chairs going on in the IndyCar field right now.
No doubt about that.
Yeah, some of these youngsters might find themselves in an IndyCar seat before too much longer.
We've had 5 different drivers win this so far this year. Jack Jeffers got a couple of wins. G3 Ardros, as we know, with that sweep of Road America. Leonardo Scorpione now with 3 wins. He leads the way. Jacob Douglas with a victory, and Michael Costello with a win as well. Sadly, Jacob Douglas hitting the budget wall like so many drivers do, and is here in the paddock coaching for one of the other teams. But indeed, we won't see him back here in USF Pro. But a number of different winners have worked their way to the forefront here. 5 in total. We expect to see a win pretty soon at a Frankie Mossman. Would be surprised to see Thomas Schrag knock one out as well. Teddy Musella. There's drivers out here with the ability to win races. They just haven't knocked it out yet. So we could find more before the end of the season. But again, the drivers coming to the forefront right now, Scorpione and Jeffers. Let's look at lap times here. 18.1 for Scorpione, 18.5 for Jeffers, 18.3 for Cardenas, but he's 2.6 seconds back. Yeah, he was faster than Jeffers on that last lap, but nothing going there. Argyros 18.6, Schrag 18.5, Golan a 19.2. Top 5 drivers mid-18s. Everybody else, John, in the low 119s. Essentially, their laps were over a half a second slower. Top 5 drivers kind of stretching away here now. Brady Golan doing an awesome job. Their P6, remember, started all the way back in 14th, so +8 for Golan for turn 3, running now up in the 6th spot.
And Frankie Mossman, unfortunately, because of that drive-through penalty, all the way back in 12th position, but his lap time's very competitive with the drivers up front, so he's going to be ruining that mistake for sure, as he's certainly showing he had the pace to run with the guys at the front, but that mistake is cost him dearly here.
Yeah, and John, barring another full course yellow, Mossman's going to be well back. He's about 11 seconds behind the battle between JT Hoskins and Colin Aiken. That fight continuing for that position, and that is for 10th and 11th, final spot inside the top 10. Joey Brienza is digging there in the number 91 and 9th. He's trying to close up here on Sebastian Manson. He is within 0.4 of a second. So another one of those drivers who has hit that kind of half second to 1 second window of getting that aero wash, that loss of front wing downforce when you get up inside a driver. Yeah, you love the draft coming down the straightaway, but when you get too close, you're just not able to get the turning you're looking for. So that's the battle here coming behind here. This is Manson in the white and blue machine. And the Indiana University colors for Joey Brienza in 9th. Brienza started at 11th, up 2 to 9th spot. Not done yet here with Sebastian Manson. I am being told we may see a couple of time penalties before the end of this one here. One potentially for jumping the start, the other for a block moving in reaction. So won't throw any numbers out there. I'll let race control do that. But just to let you know, race control, the eye in the sky, watching.
You can't get away with anything.
Yeah, you look at the people that we have in race control, and it is a storied and experienced crew for sure. Joel Miller, a former champion in many junior Formula Series coming up the ranks, factory driver for Mazda at one point.
Yep.
We've got Bo Barfield,
yep,
whose resume includes IMSA, IndyCar, you name it. And then Charlie Kimball joining us as well. On and off, we get Charlie to come in and join us here. Of course, those of you may know Charlie, a fantastic European career, almost made it to Formula One. Eventually got his way in to become a Ganassi driver here and won a lot of races in his junior career coming up, and a winner here at the Mid-Ohio Sports Car.
He's won an IndyCar race here, absolutely.
Indeed. So let's just put it this way. We have experience, and when the young drivers will say, hey, but I didn't, and they're like, guys, we've been there.
Been there, done that.
We've been there. Both Charlie, hey, listen, Bo was a fantastic Formula 2000 driver in his own right, running in the older USF F2000 series, United States Formula Ford 2000, a USAC sanctioned program. So, yeah, they've been there. You think you've done it, they've done it a couple of thousand times.
Yep.
It's good to have those guys there as well.
Was it the Elan DP08 back in the day, I think?
Back in the day, I'm thinking back like 90s, like mid-90s. You're talking Van Diemen's, the Bowmans. There was some drivers on the Swifts as well, Swift DB6. A bunch of different race cars found their way to the USF Pro. McGowell's, of course, as well. There was a lot of cars running back, and those were that days. We're talking 40-car fields as well. So there was some massive fields back in the early days of USF 2000. You think it's new? It is not. It has been around for a number of decades. In fact, you go back to European. I was during the rain delay yesterday. I popped up a shot of Ayrton Senna running a Formula 2000 car. A Van Diemen was a factory Van Diemen driver, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, this formula has been around a long time. This particular one here, USF Pro 2000, was initially Star Mazda. Star Mazda then became Pro Mazda when Anderson Promotions took that over in 2013. That morphed to Indy Pro 2000. And now USF Pro 2000, so it's been around a long time as well. The Star Mazda program, you look at the drivers who were there, Hinchcliffe, Rahal, Andretti, other drivers, Connor Daly, who have worked their way up through that program as well. So a lot of great drivers running in this particular program to work their way through. We look at the last essentially 13 years as our years with the program and Anderson Promotions, but the actual formula itself, back in the day with the Mazda rotary engine as well. Good stuff. Great times, and we watch drivers come up here through the American open wheel ranks. 10 laps to go. Scorpioni has dropped the time down to a 1:17.7, still about 2 seconds off the track record for race lap that we saw earlier today. Jack Jeffers still runs in second. He's got a 2.5 second lead on Andres Cardenas, who goes purple himself. Cardenas showing, John, that the pace is there for the Peruvian in the Jay Howard car. A win just around the corner for him. I just can feel it. He is really getting a feel for this program.
Brienza closing back down on Sebastian Manson in the battle for 8th as well. He was about 3/10 quicker on that last lap, and he's only about half a second back. So once again, he's in that area where the aero wash is really beginning to affect the handling of his car. So he's got to be careful about where he makes his move.
But you got to keep the pressure up. That's what it is, right? Because really, you're going to get the job done when the driver in front of you, you're putting enough pressure that you maybe get them to make a mistake. Coming into turn number 2, do they, the keyhole, do they lock a brake? Do they start, maybe start, flat spotting a tire? You keep pushing so they miss an apex by a little bit. You're able to get back on power early. We saw Jack Jeffers do that with Frankie Mossman, where even though we had the wing damage, was finally able to get a better run out of the corner and beat him down into turn number 4. Because, again, the pass in turn 4 doesn't happen in 4, doesn't happen in 3. Sometimes it happens in 1 or 2. You have to combine 1 and 2 to get the run and get a better drive out of turn number 2 coming over that downhill off-camber keyhole corner.
Even if you can get the car you're chasing to go defensive, basically go offline, trying to defend, that gives you the prime opportunity to go on either side of him. So, it's a game of pressure and who can withstand it the best.
And John, that's the reward of a fantastic turn 1. If you get a better run, or let's say you get a better run of 13, you're pushing into 1. They defend, as you said, coming out of 1 to say to the inside of the racetrack into 2. Then you can go wide. Once you've gone wide, they can't come back. That's that move-in reaction I keep talking about, the block that we have in our books. So if you're on the outside and he's defending to the inside, he comes back across to block you. First off, that's a block. Otherwise, he's got to get on the brakes earlier and longer and harder to be able to get around the corner while you're running the racing line.
So if you don't get him going in, you're going to get him going out.
They got to make a mistake. They got to force that mistake.
And at this level, the mistakes are few and far between. I mean, these drivers are all skilled competitors. They've come up through the lower 2 rungs on this ladder, and you don't find them making those kind of mistakes.
No doubt about that. Scorpioni, Jeffers, Argyros, Golan, all those drivers coming up through the USF Juniors program into USF 2000. We can still say that about Scorpione. He did 2 USF 2000 races on the podium at St. Petersburg earlier this year before leapfrogging over the series to go to USF Pro 2000, and indeed he has shown his worthiness there, the talent for a Scorpione. 7 laps remaining, and to be honest, the really cool thing about Scorpione is because he did 2 years in USF Juniors, then jumps over 2000. His first year in juniors, just 14 years of age, young, made lots of mistakes. You know, he was able to get on a couple of podiums, but there was errors he would make, and he'll tell you that in the offseason. Why was I doing that? I made these mistakes. No mistakes last year. He came out of the gate. I want to say one race he didn't finish in the top 5 all year long, and it was mechanical at NOLA Motorsports Park. Top 5 for the rest of the year, and those are the results and the consistency that win championships. He had a fantastic run, won a bunch of races early. Liam Loiacono came on in the second half of the season to put some pressure on, but Leonardo, with the lead he had and the pace he had, could kind of just coast. Didn't have to force the issue, didn't have to put the pressure on. Was able to come away with a championship, and he is lining himself up to have a great fight with the USF 2000 champion here as well. Jack Jeffers and Leonardo Scorpione very close. I think as they run on track, Scorpione may just jump over top of Jeffers in the points, but that fast lap could make things change, because remember, Jeffers has the bonus point for pole.
Right.
So even if he finishes second, it's 26 points. So at this point, Scorpione has led the most laps, so he's looking at 31. So that would be what, a 5-point difference?
So it'll be a 1-point difference.
1-point lead. But
in a Scorpione's favor.
Let's see who lays down the fast lap before the end of this, because the cars are getting lighter and lighter. Cardenas has it now with a 1:17.643. But with 6 laps remaining, we could eventually, if Jeffers goes with the fast lap, we'd be tied on top. That's amazing. Absolutely amazing right now.
At the halfway point. I love it.
Yeah, it's like, we'll get rid of the first half of the season, we'll start the second half.
Let's just start all over again. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Argyros, Costello, Mossman, and Cardenas still there in the championship fight. They're going to have to step things up, as we know. But lots of racing still to come. Both Scorpione and Jeffers turning their fastest laps on the last lap, so that's good for them. We know that those cars are really starting to come in now. Who can put a fast lap flyer down? Leonardo talked about it, John, on the podium. I asked, hey, listen, you know how quick you guys were going. Was there a thought of potentially laying down that fast lap to try to see if you could get the pole? Jeffers was actually pushing as hard as we can, trying to get his way onto the podium, closing up at the very end of Costello. But he said, listen, I think it was in me. I could have did a big push lap, but I didn't want to throw it away. You got a victory here. It's a bonus point. You'd love it, but you don't want to throw it away. You'll take the 30 points for a race win. So a little bit of maturity shown there by a Scorpione as well, John, in race number 2.
Brienza had a problem on the last lap, a 1:27 and some change. He must have had an off course somewhere. He stays in 9th, but he was right on the tail of Sebastian Manson prior to that mistake. Here he is, and he's now falling into the clutches just behind him of JT Hoskins.
Yeah, Hoskins had a good little battle going with Colin Aiken at one point, but Aiken has fallen back as well. In fact, is Aiken off? Yeah, I don't see Aiken here on pit lane, but he's a couple laps down. Sounds like Aiken has retired the race car here. He's active on track, but he is still quite a ways back. Mossman closing up, trying to still close up. He's only 4 seconds behind Hoskins now. And indeed, with just 5 laps remaining, Hoskins has got a chance to go after 9th for Brienza. Manson's going to have that big gap of 8.5. Remember, it was just about a half a second, just a couple laps ago, but as John said, an issue there for Brienza. Able to bring him back on and continue running P9. Argyros just turned his fast lap as well. Oh, here's Aiken here, and he's in fact fallen well back. Maybe a spin for Aiken. Let's have a look across for fast lap. No, he did an 18.5. Maybe a spin earlier, because right now he is between first and second. So he's in front of Jack Jeffers now, which may play into the hands of Andres Cardenas, because Jeffers is going to catch him coming into the keyhole here. He'll get back on power, and Cardenas is going to love this one. Here comes Jeffers. Good job for Aiken to move to driver's right. Cardenas closes in a big way. It was a second gap. Another opportunity here for Cardenas to mount a challenge on Jack Jeffers. Cardenas able to hold the spot. Yeah, finally tucks in as well. There's the gap between first and second. A little further back, rather second to third, then back to 4th place running G3 Argyros. Trying to bounce back after the off in the race yesterday afternoon, where just dropped the wheel, I think on maybe consecutive laps, went off and did, I think 119 you and I picked up there,
right.
And then went off in this corner here coming out of turn number 8. I saw the drone shot and he actually dropped the wheel. Just kind of got onto the curb and then couldn't quite get it back down to the apex, onto the rubber, and was in the gray. And at that point, just slid right off the racetrack. Just a minor miscue of car placement on that corner sent him off track and dropped him down the order to a low points-paying position. Bounced back to a top 5 this morning, but indeed trying to fight back here. Yeah, Leonardo Scorpioni just turned the fast lap, folks. Purple, 117.416. There's that bonus point that could give him a couple more points up on Jeffers in the championship here. What a weekend it's been for Turn 3 Motorsports and Leonardo Scorpioni. Unbelievable stuff. Brady Golan running as well for 6th for the team. Sebastian Manson in 8th. Michael Costello and Tyke Durst out of the race already. Durst involved in the opening lap incident coming up to the keyhole. Contact between Costello and Mossman in turn number 2 as well, taking him out of the race. So 3 Turn 3 Motorsports drivers still on track, and they all run inside the top 8 with Scorpioni on top here. Trying to go 3 straight wins at Mid-Ohio.
And in commanding fashion, he's got almost a 5-second lead. Just setting fast lap of the race with 3 to go. It'll be 2 when they come by the line this time.
It's always interesting to me which team rolls off with the best setup. You know, it was at Mid-Ohio, rather at Road America, Pabst Racing had the hot rod. Start of the season at Arlington, it was Jack Jeffers. Nobody could touch him. He was the fastest driver out there for sure. Indianapolis, kind of more of a back and forth, I think. We had a number of drivers that were quick there. The oval was kind of turn 3. They were really quick on the oval. But I'll tell you, here this weekend, turn 3 and Scorpioni have been absolutely magnificent. Last time by, Scorpioni over a 10th quicker than Jeffers. All 3 of the top drivers, though, turning their fastest laps here on lap 28. Let's see which way the fast time goes before it's all said and done. White flag will fly next time by. We were wondering whether or not the rain would arrive. It has not. We are going to be able to finish this one here. Thankfully, after wet weather yesterday, pushed this race to after IndyCar. Those of you who have hung around, we thank you. Hope you're enjoying a little racing while the traffic still mounds up to get out of this racetrack. Good stuff here now for Scorpioni. Very likely will take over the point lead here by a couple of markers. 117.36 last time by for Scorpioni fast lap. He is stretching away from Jack Jeffers. Jeffers was able to pull away from Cardenas again. Remember, we thought that Cardenas may be able to mount a challenge after the little issue that Jeffers had with that lap car coming through the keyhole, but he's been able to put the laps down. All right, not a faster lap for Scorpioni there. Jeffers, can he go quicker? He does a 17.390, 3/100ths of a second off. And a 17.533 for Cardenas, so Jeffers very close, matching the fast time there last lap. No, he was off by about 200ths on the Scorpioni.
Teddy Musella closing up on Brady Golan on the last lap here. Has that down to about 0.8 of a second, but their lap time's virtually identical. Yeah. So Golan looks like he's got enough in hand to hold him off.
Looks like we're going to have 11 drivers finish on the lead lap. We'll have 12 total get to the checkered flag on this one here. Right now it's a Scorpioni, Jeffers, Cardenas, Argyros, and Schrag top 5. We'll pick up the leader as he works his way around the racetrack here through turn number 6 over to 7 and 8. He'll drop it into Thunder Valley here momentarily. The Turn 3 Motorsport driver out of Windermere, Florida. USF Juniors champion last year. And he is looking to take the lead here in USF Pro 2000 for Turn 3 Motorsports. He'll crest the hill, down through the carousel, out of the final corners. It's back to back to back jacks for Leonardo Scorpioni. Domination in USF Pro 2000. Scorpioni owns the Mid-Ohio Sports Car Course. Jack Jeffers, a strong run to second spot. Not quite enough to take over the fast lap. Coming back across the line. He does go quickest on his last lap, but not quite enough to go purple. He wins second spot over Cardenas. 4 seconds, over 4, almost 5 seconds the gap for a Scorpioni. 1.3 back was Cardenas. Argyros about 4.7. Big gap there. Musella closing up on Golan. Crossing the line now, gets to within 0.6 of a second. But after some early chaos, drivers settling down for the second half of this race, and Scorpioni 3 for 3, John, here at Mid-Ohio.
Exactly.
And to be honest, 3 for 3, and also 4 for 5 in the last 2 years.
Yeah.
Pretty impressive last year in USF Juniors as well. On the podium in all 5 weekends over the last 2 years, all 5 races rather. Leonardo Scorpioni, there's your unofficial results. Jeffers and Cardenas, Argyros and Schrag complete the top 5. Golan, Masella, Manson, Brienza, and JT Hoskins. Hoskins started 16th plus 6. Stayed out of trouble, got challenged quite a bit there by Aiken, but was able to come away with a top 10 finish.
Rob's going to make his way down to the podium, and it looks like you're going to make your flight tonight, so that's a good bit of good news as well.
I think it's going to be good for everybody. It was a wild one for sure. Indeed, all the drivers will circulate back around. John, thank you so much again. Always a pleasure to be invited into your office here at the Mid-Ohio Sports Car Course, folks. Just one thing left to do. We'll head down to Victory Lane and talk the top 3 drivers of race number 3 in USF Pro 2000.
Safe journey home, buddy. Scorpioni sweeping the weekend. Jack Jeffers losing the points lead. Again, unofficially, obviously the post-race adjudication by the folks up in race control to see if there are any penalties to be assessed. Andres Cardenas into the 3rd position. G3 Argyros in the 4th spot. Thomas Schrag, local driver, Ohio-based driver, I should say. Then Brady Golan from Austin, Texas. Teddy Musella, Florida driver. Sebastian Manson, Joey Brienza, and JT Hoskins, your top 10 of this finale for the weekend for the USF Pro 2000 Championship. Just one more driver on the lead lap. That was Frankie Mossman after his drive-through penalty, finishing in 11th spot. Colin Aiken running at the finish, but 2 laps down. Michael Costello and Logan Adams caught up in an incident, as were Tyke Durst and Christian Cameron, not making it to the finish. But Leonardo Scorpioni, get the brooms out, folks. He did a sweep of the weekend. Maximum points in race number 1, and he might get maximum points in race number 3 as well, setting the fast lap of the race on lap number 30. Getting his balaclava off, getting the earbuds disconnected. He'll be climbing out in just a minute. Scorpioni, a big smile on his face, and with good reason. A fantastic weekend for Leonardo Scorpioni from Turn 3 Motorsport. Getting hugs from his crew. Fantastic job for him. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for being with us. We'll go down to Rob Howden for the podium celebrations, but take your time getting out of the facility. There's lots of people here, and it will take a while to get out, but you'll all get home safely. Just pay attention to the folks directing traffic, and we'll get you out of here as expeditiously as possible. Just remember, coming up in a couple weeks' time, the AMA Vintage Motorcycle Days, coming up July 24th through the 26th, and then the following weekend, Permco Moto America Superbikes at Mid-Ohio, a fortnight of motorcycle action here at Mid-Ohio coming up at the end of the month. So plan to be with us for those two. And again, if you've never been to VMD, you need to come at least once. You will not forget it. It is an absolutely unique event. And even if you don't ride a motorcycle, come and enjoy the scenery, enjoy some great racing on the track, and see the swap meet, if nothing else, the largest motorcycle swap meet in the world right here at the Mid-Ohio Sports Car Course. Nearly 1,000 vendors in that swap meet. So again, it's a not to be missed event, and if you've never been, I urge you to come. And of course, the Superbikes go without saying. We always have some of the biggest crowds for the season for the Superbike races here. So great to have them back at Mid-Ohio after the repave a couple years ago. That's always an exciting weekend as well. Rob Howden making his way down to the victory podium. We'll turn it over to him to wrap up the weekend here. Sounds like Rob is on the podium. Let's send it down to Rob Howden.
Thank you so much, John. Finally, back here to Victory Lane to cap things off for the USF Pro Championships events here, all part of this Honda 200 weekend, the Mid-Ohio Sports Car Course. Great to be here, and great to be here with the drivers who are just 2 steps away from IndyCar here in the USF Pro 2000 category. Finishing in 3rd spot today, let's bring him up here for Jay Howard Driver Development, Andres Cardenas. Andres, quick chat here for you. That win is coming just around the corner, but you are on such a great streak right now. You've got 5 podiums in the last number of races. Just give me your thoughts on how that race went.
Yeah, for sure. It was a very good race. We had a little bit of a bad start. Went to the grass, but it's a very good way to recover, and we were quick, so that's important, and looking forward to getting my first win.
How was the racetrack running after 90 laps of IndyCar?
It was very greasy. There was not a lot of grip in general, also considering the heat. So yeah, it was very slippery.
Congratulations. Jump up here and grab yourself a P3 trophy. This guy's laying it down here, folks, for Jay Howard, doing a great job. Finishing in second place today, a great weekend for Jack Jeffers, Exclusive Autosport, P2. Pressure all race long. Jack, a second place finish here from pole. I know you wanted that race win. What else did you need here against the Scorpione?
Oh, I think there was a little bit of time to be found in the car and a little bit of time to be found in my driving. We're a team, so we lose together and we win together. So I think they just did a better job than us in this last race, and that's that. So it's going to be head down and back to the drawing board and make sure we're executing at Portland.
30 laps in high heat, tough conditions. How do you feel right now? And I'll ask you the same question I asked Andres. How was the racetrack?
I agree with him. It was pretty greasy, especially the first couple of laps, and a lot of marbles getting picked up on our tires. It was kind of just holding on for dear life. So, yeah, the track was greasy. The heat is, another added factor. But, yeah, it was super physical, but it's kind of the same as yesterday's race, so nothing too different.
Well done today. Get on top here as well. 3 top 5s in the weekend, 2 podiums for Jack Jeffers. Great job for him. But what a midseason turn here. I talk about this race being kind of a turning point weekend. What a great one for this driver here. 3 straight wins here. He owned Mid-Ohio this weekend. Give it up for Turn 3 Motorsports, Leonardo Scorpione. There's the smile I've been trying to get out of you here throughout the weekend. Congratulations, man. Great jump off the start. We were able to get by Jack. Just kind of walk me through the way the race was afterwards. Was the car a handful, or were you kind of able just to pick your marks and put those laps down?
The start was very difficult. It was very low grip. The track was very greasy, so it was about just staying clean at the beginning. I was just focused. Turn 3 gave me an amazing car, so they made my job pretty easy, actually. So after that, I got by Jack, and it was about maintaining the pace and just turning down fast laps and trying to get away.
What is it about this racetrack? You won a juniors race here last year. You win 3 here. You're 4 for 5 in the last 2 years. What is it about Mid-Ohio?
Well, I love this track. It's super fun. It's super flowy shot, so I'm super happy to race here. I love this track.
Who do you want to thank today?
I want to thank the whole Turn 3 team. They gave me an amazing car. My dad, my mom, HMD, Zanella, everyone involved.
Congratulations, my friend. First place trophy awaits you on top of the podium. What a great way to finish it off there. We had a little bit of a messy start, but the drivers settled in for the second half of that race. You can see that Leonardo Scorpione was banging out the laps. All 3 of these drivers swapped the fast lap of the race throughout the second half as well. And indeed, at the very end, Scorpione able to get that done. Jeffers got to within a couple of hundredths of a second, so the pace was there for both drivers, but we know what the aero wash is like. When you get to within a half a second, so hard to be able to find a way by. And indeed, starting and getting a good jump for a Scorpione coming away with that race win. It's going to be super tight on top of the podium for sure, but as I had said during the broadcast, lots of racing still to go. 5 weeks off for these drivers before we head to the Pacific Northwest and Portland International Raceway to start off what will be a very busy month of August. From Portland straight to the street circuit, the brand new street circuit in Markham, Ontario, a couple of weeks off, and on to the Milwaukee Mile for the second oval race for these drivers here. And indeed, ready to wrap things up at Road America in September. Almost done with a long weekend of racing here. 7 races in total for the USF Pro Championship. Guys, grab that champagne. Let's wrap things up. Grip it and rip it. Celebration time for the drivers at USF Pro 2000. 3 wins for Leonardo Scorpione in Turn 3 Motorsports as he comes away with the point lead on the weekend unofficially. Of course, all results provisional before we wrap things up. Jack Jeffers finishing in second, and another podium for Andres Cardenas. He had a fantastic run through the weekend at Road America and continue that here at Mid-Ohio as well. Great stuff for the young drivers here, just 2 steps away from the NTT IndyCar Series. Pato Award winning here today. He was a winner in this category just a number of years ago. Congratulations to all the drivers who had success throughout our 3 series this year. Congratulations to all the teams coming away with wins as well. That wraps things up for the Mid-Ohio Sports Car Course. Thanks for tuning in, those of you on the broadcast. Hope you enjoyed a lot of racing throughout this July 4th. Independence Day weekend. It is time to cap things off from Ohio. On behalf of Anderson Promotions and Continental Tires, my name's Rob Howden. Bye for now.